Oh, man, after the devotion they gave you, you're fired too.
Fired. I beg your pardon?
I'm fired?
Fired.
You know what, Summer?
Hold on, Donald. Being a CEO means never having to say you're fired again.
You son of a...
While fertile fodder for the movies, you're fired is now being sugarcoated with all sorts of phrases that let bosses pretend the bad news isn't personal.
Not fired. Technically furloughed.
But jargon doesn't matter if you're the one who's getting fired. Take the word impact. It's defined as the striking of one body against another, or the force from a collision. The word came up when Tim Armstrong announced plans to cut staff at the Patch local news websites. He didn't say anyone would be laid off. He said there would be a few hundred impacts. But in the very same conference call, he snaps at an employee who's been filming the meeting.
Abel, put that camera down right now. Abel, you're fired. Out.
So what executives say in public is quite different from what they say in private. Streamline sounds good. Downsize? It's kind of a downer. But right size? You can't go wrong when you're right. Now take demise. It's defined as the end of an activity or existence. Termination. Death. Last spring, the big bank HSBC took the language of layoffs to a new low when it announced that it would be demising the roles of nearly 1,000 employees.
So the language encourages a kind of dissociation from the process, from your commitment to the corporation, from the things you do in its name.
Jeff Nunberg is a linguist who says euphemisms are an easy way out.
In a way, you could think of that as healthy. People are able to keep that separate. But in another way, it means that people really have trouble focusing on the moral consequences of their actions in corporate life.
Companies lay off, they let go. When I was working in London, the British phrase was make redundant. It never caught on here, but give it time. Here in the US, the MBA CEO talks about RIFs, reductions in force.
The good news is you're fired.
When you're writing a press release, you can carefully choose your words. But as Tim Armstrong demonstrated, sometimes there's no way to hide what the boss is really thinking.
Piggy, I will not stand for it! I will not stand for it! What are you going to do? I'll tell you what I'm going to do, Piggy. I'm going to fire you. Piggy, you are fired. You are fired. Piggy, you are fired. Fired! You're kidding.